Hello students, in this class I am going to discuss rules of inference. Rules of inference are nothing but rules used to check whether the given argument is valid or not. First we see the form of the rules of inference. Consider a set of propositions P1, P2, etc. up to Pn and a proposition Q. If we write the compound proposition in this form P1 and P2 and etc. up to and Pn, that implies Q, then it is called the argument. The proposition P1, P2 etc. up to Pn are called premises and Q is called the conclusion. The other way also you can write the argument. The tabular form of the argument is given in this form P1, P2 etc. up to Pn. Therefore, Q is nothing but the conclusion. Here the set of propositions are given P1, P2, etc. up to Pn. Finally, the conclusion is Q. So what we have to check is whether the given argument is valid or not. So what is the meaning is whether P1 and P2 and etc. up to and Pn logically implies Q or not. We will see now the rules for checking whether the given mathematical argument is valid or not. First rule is rule of conjunctive simplification. Whenever two propositions P and Q are given, if P is true and Q is true, then that the P and Q logically implies P. That is rule of conjunctive simplification. Then rule of second one, rule of disjunctive amplification is P logically implies P or Q. Then rule of syllogism, if P implies Q is true and Q implies R is true, then P implies R is true. So the other way how you can write this rule is P implies Q and Q implies R, therefore P implies R. See, this common proposition Q and Q will get cancelled, you will get P implies R. This is rule of syllogism. Then modus ponens, if P is true and P implies Q is true, then Q is also true. So P and P implies Q, therefore Q. Modus tollens, if P implies Q is true and negation Q is true, then negation P is true. So P implies Q and negation Q, therefore negation P. Then rule of disjunctive syllogism, if P or Q is true and negation P is true, then Q is also true. So P or Q and negation P, therefore Q. The other way how you can write is negation P implies Q, negation P, therefore Q. Then the seventh rule, P implies Q is logically implies negation Q implies negation P. We need to remember all the 7 rules. Using these 7 rules, we are going to check whether the given argument is valid or not. So the proposition also, the propositions will be given, the conclusion also will be given. So you need to check whether the argument is valid or not. We will see the example. See the first problem. Test whether the following argument is a valid argument. Here the argument is given. So first sentence is, if Sachin hits a century, then he gets a free car. Then second statement, Sachin hits a century. Then therefore Sachin gets a free car. So this is the statement given here. Here two propositions are given. First sentence is first proposition, second sentence is second proposition. Then therefore the sentence given is a conclusion. So we need to first write the given argument in symbolic form. Next we have to check whether it is a valid argument or not using rules of inference. So we know 7 rules. So whatever the appropriate rule needed for the given problem you need to apply, then you have to check whether the argument is valid or not. See here 2 sentences are considered in the problem. So I am going to define 2 proposition for the given problem. First I am defining the proposition P is Sachin hits a century. Next, second proposition, I am going to consider Q, that is Sachin gets a free car. These are the two propositions I am going to define for the given problem. So how to write in the symbolic form? The first sentence, if Sachin hits a century, then he gets a free car. So here implication if is used. So I am going to put it in symbolic form. Sachin hits a century is P. So P implies he gets a free car. So P implies Q. This is the first sentence. First sentence symbolic form is P implies Q. Second sentence is Sachin hits a century. Sachin hits a century. I defined this as P. So second statement is P. Therefore, Sachin gets a free car. So that will be the statement Q. So this is the symbolic form of the given argument. So what are the sentences given in this argument? First put it in symbolic form. So here I have the symbolic form. P implies Q and P therefore Q. So I need to check whether this given argument is valid or not. So you need to check which rule you have to apply to check the given argument is valid or not. So see here, P implies Q and P is there. But conclusion, I want Q. So what rule you have to apply? Modus ponens. See, modus ponens, see here already we have studied modus ponens. P implies Q, therefore Q. So here also we have the same statement. P implies Q and P. So the P will go Q, we will get it as a conclusion. So therefore by modus ponens, the given argument is valid. So you need to do 3 steps. First of all, the given argument, define what are the propositions needed. Then you put the given argument in the symbolic form. Then check whether the argument is valid or not using the rules of inference. Now we will see this example. See this example. If Ravi studies, then he will pass in discrete maths. This is the first statement. The second statement is, if Ravi does not play cricket, then he will study. Then the third statement, Ravi failed in discrete maths. Finally, the conclusion given is, therefore Ravi played cricket. So here these are the sentences given. This is the argument. First of all, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to define the propositions for the given problem. So first proposition P I defined as Ravi studies. Q, Ravi will pass in discrete maths. Then R is Ravi plays cricket. These are the 3 propositions defined for this problem. Next, for each sentence, I need to put it in the symbolic form. See, first sentence, if Ravi studies, then he will pass in discrete maths. Here, implication is used, so I should write the implication, symbolic form. So, P implies Q. P is Ravi studies. If Ravi studies, then he will pass in discrete maths. So, the first statement, symbolic form is P implies Q. Then see the second sentence. If Ravi does not play cricket, here play cricket is R, but here not is used, so you need to take the negation of this proposition R. So negation R implies P. So negation R implies P. What does it mean? If Ravi does not play cricket, then he will study. That is P. So negation R implies P is the symbolic form of the second sentence. Then the third sentence, Ravi failed in discrete maths. See, Ravi pass in discrete maths is Q. So, but here the statement given is Ravi failed in discrete maths. So that will be negation of Q. So that will be negation Q. Finally, the conclusion is, therefore Ravi played cricket. So played cricket is R. So therefore R. So this is the symbolic form of the given argument. So here 3 statements are there, 1 conclusion is there. These are the symbolic form of the given argument. Now we have to check whether it is valid or not. So what you are going to do is, we are going to apply the rules of inference to check whether the conclusion we are getting or not. We are going to use these three statements. P implies Q, negation R implies P, negation Q. Using these three statements, we are going to bring the conclusion R using rules of inference. So now we have to check what are the rules of inference we are going to use. See, first statement, P implies Q, I am going to write as it is, P implies Q. The third statement I am writing negation Q. Then see the second one. This is negation R implies P. So that I am writing it as a third one. So now I am going to apply modus tollens for the first two. First two I am going to apply modus tollens. If I apply modus tollens for P implies Q and negation Q, I am getting negation P. So using these two, I am getting the resultant negation P. Then the third one, negation R implies P, I am writing as it is, negation R P. Next step, what I am going to do is, seventh rule I am going to apply for this statement. Negation P I am writing as it is. Then the seventh rule for this statement is, negation P implies negation R. So then it will become double negation will become R only. So negation P implies R. Negation P is coming as it is, this statement, negation P implies R. Now see these two statements. So what rule you can use? Modus ponens. Why? Negation P, here also negation P, both are there. So you can cancel and you can write R. So using modus ponens, I can cancel negation P, I am getting the resultant R. So I am getting the conclusion R. So I started with these three statements. I am bringing the conclusion using rules of inference. So I got the conclusion whatever given in the problem. Therefore, the given argument is valid. So whenever you want to check whether the argument is valid or not, first start with the only premises, whatever given in the problem, try to bring the conclusion using rules of inference.